is the second AGM of the evening. This is the Ilig AGM. So welcome and thank you for coming. Have we received any apologies? Anna?
Oh, sorry. Yes,
Received them from Alan, from
Shane, Emma,
Sabella.
Isabella, yeah.
And the minutes of the AGM, the 2012 AGM, have been published on the website. I'm afraid we haven't provided you with printed copies today, so hopefully you've managed to check them on the website. There's no outstanding actions. Can I have a proposer for the e-minutes? Thank you, Norman. And a second. Thank you, John. Okay. So that's now. We've had quite a busy year, so the annual report is a full 3 pages. First of all, I'd like to express my thanks to the committee for 2012 for a very busy year, especially to those members of the committee who are now stepping on or stepping down. There's one correction to my report, but we're not saying goodbye to Norman Briggs, we're just saying welcome to the committee and thank you for being treasurer. So Norman's going to stay with us. Welcoming Kathleen as a new treasurer from October and Anna as the secretary. We had a successful year. We ran 2 awards. The first one was a collaboration with the HLG and the Partners in Health Information, where we supported the Zimbabwean librarian to come to the UK for a 2-week study visit. And this coincided with the HLG conference, and it was very successful. As with many of the Ilig ventures, the reflections of Masimba Muziringa are now available on the Ilig YouTube site. If you'd like to find out more about Ilig and our communication mechanisms, on the table there is copies of Focus and also of our leaflet, which has all information about our LinkedIn sites, our YouTube site, and other communication mechanisms that we have. During the year, we ran 5 informals. These are increasing in popularity, peaking with about 40 people attending in June to hear about preserving a culture, script digitization and librarianship from Inner Mongolia. We ran a successful international library copyright seminar in May, where we had over 40 delegates, and we turned a nice profit, and we had speakers coming from as far abroad as Australia, and just around the corner is the Publishers Licensing Association. There was some lively debate, and it was a very successful day. We continue to engage and support CILIP on a number of areas. The Ilig Vice Chair is now the chair of the Interim International Board, so we're engaging very much in communication with CILIP directly on international matters. We've had 3 issues of Focus published, our journal, through the year, while our communication mechanisms are continuing to blossom, with our Twitter accounts increasing by 20% over the last quarters on both occasions. But there's a very brief overview of the year in a real nutshell. Does anybody have any questions relating to the 2012 annual report? Excellent. Thank you very much. Does anybody have any disagreement with it? Even better. Okay. I'd like to confirm the committee, or the appointed officers for the committee for 2013. Myself as chair, Kathleen as treasurer, back for a second stint, Anna as honorary secretary, and John Lake as vice chair. And I will now pass over to Kathleen for the treasurer's report.
Well, the report has been circulated, and I think it's available on the web as well. And I really don't have very much else to say than that Anna hasn't said or Doug hasn't said. Because I took over from Norman in November last year. Norman carried it most of last year. So, what do I want to say? Our expenditure last year was slightly more than our income. And so that means we've grown on our reserves and we have to think carefully about accumulating reserves so that we can cover our expenditure. And the main thing last year was that CILIP centralised the branch and group accounts, both the current and the deposit accounts. This has been a very useful thing, and as Anna said, now that the accounts are examining ours, both they've had she examined ours and helped us a lot. So, other than expressing our thanks to Norman for his work last year, I think that's all.
A couple of questions, Kathleen or Norman. First one is, I wondered what on earth the short-term loan was, £1,000.
Yes. Well, when I took over from Norman, for a while I was cut out of our deposit account, so I couldn't draw on our funding, and I had to borrow money from CILIP, and I repaid it to CILIP quite comfortably.
It was interest free.
It wasn't something wrong with it, I'm sure.
Because I'm no longer involved in these things, I was intrigued about the previous meeting as well, that the centralising of the bank accounts. I can remember a time when we were earning interest on some of the Ilig money, whereas now apparently in future we'll be paying fees to the bank for it.
But the thing is, we keep some of our money in the CCLA
Still
deposit,
do.
and we do still, and we get interest,
Right.
very small interest.
I assumed it was all in
No,
this.
no, it's not all, it's in two accounts.
As it used to be.
Centralised.
Thank you.
The interest has decreased a lot with interest rates.
Everyone else is
Yes, the same.
still better than paying out.
In expenditure, what is charity donations? Are there any more than one charity or a single charity?
Well, just if we decide that we'll give to a charity, then we gave that amount last year to, I'm not sure which charity, but people who ask for a donation. And Alice?
I'm very puzzled, and I think the centralisation may mean that the centralisation of accounts may mean that the branch and group rules need a slight amendment, because when I checked them on the website, the 2010 rules on the website this week, it says that branch and group accounts must be examined by independent examiners. Well, if that's no longer the case, then that sentence needs rewriting. And I just wonder if the council could have a look at this and rewrite it as necessary, because they have the power to alter the branch and group rules.
We'll most certainly make sure they do, Alice, but there's going to be a rewrite of the rules anyway, I'm afraid, so that can be incorporated in. Sorry? The whole website will be refreshed in a couple of months.
Thank you. Any more questions about the accounts? Okay, can I have a proposer for the accounts? Thank you, Si. And a second. Norman, thank you, Norman. Can Norman second the accounts as he was?
Yes, I think.
Yes, as he was the treasurer for half of the year. Okay. Finishing off, any other business? We have one bit of important business that we need to confirm the subscription rate for non-CILIP members of Ilig. I hasten to add that Ilig doesn't encourage members to join Ilig directly, but prefers them to join CILIP, and then they can join Ilig as one of their special interest groups. But if anybody did want to just join Ilig, they would pay the equivalent of the subscription to Focus, which is £40 for UK members. The only other thing I want to say very briefly this is just me hijacking as I do any opportunity to stand up in front of people, to tell you briefly about what Ilig is planning for the next 12 months. And I hope that everybody can get involved, whether you're CILIP in London or Ilig. We'll be running the Anthony Thompson Award, which is a bursary award for someone this year from Southeast Asia to come to the UK on a 3-week study visit. This will be announced shortly. We will be relaunching the hosts directory in the next month or so. The host directory is a directory of anybody who is happy for a librarian from another country to come and stay with them for a couple of days while they're visiting that country, and we're hoping to expand it beyond the UK and make it more of an international directory. It's something, so watch that space. If you do fancy connecting with international librarians, you can always sign up and become a member of the directory. And there will be much more. There'll be our normal program of informals, our normal focus publications. Just keep an eye on the accounts, the Twitter accounts, the Ilig list, and all the other communication mechanisms. Are there any other questions which anybody would like to ask me? Excellent. Well, I will finish off then. What we're going to do now, we're just going to have a little word from Peter, and then we're going to grab some wine quickly, and then we've got our guest speaker of Annie, who will talk to us for as long as she likes.
I didn't say that.
Okay, so I'll pass over to Peter. I just want to say something.
Thanks very much. I just wanted to grab 5 minutes of your time in between